Emotional scenes. 4 Sunshine Coast sisters taken from their mother.
Investigators begin searching the wreckage of a vintage plane.
Dramatic pictures as a young whale is rescued from shark nets.
A little boy lost, reunited with his mother.
This is 9 News Queensland.
Good evening. It's been revealed only 2 of the 4 Sunshine Coast sisters have been sent back to Italy to be with their father.
The other 2 will fly out later tonight. It follows disturbing scenes when the girls were forcibly taken from their mother by federal police.
Now, a preliminary report by the Australian Transport Safety Bureau could be complete in around a month, but a full investigation, that could take up to a year. Melissa, police are also preparing a report for the coroner.
Yes, people will want to know the answers to what happened. Thanks, Joel. A happy ending to a dramatic rescue off the Gold Coast this afternoon. A young whale became tangled in shark nets and its mother wouldn't leave its side.
The calf clearly distressed and desperate to free itself from the net as its worried mother swam alongside.
Well, rescue crews told us they had less than an hour left before they would have had to call the rescue mission off. So, Andrew, certainly a wonderful outcome with the young humpback and its mother continuing their journey south tonight.
Yeah, it was a good result, wasn't it? Thanks, Libby. Fire crews are at the scene of a blaze near Jimboomba, which was threatening homes. A shed containing several cars caught fire this afternoon, with the flames spreading to surrounding grass and thick scrub. More crews have been called to help fight the fire, which is burning over a large front. Police are investigating an apparent murder-suicide at Clayfield. It happened in the front yard of the Hutton Street property around 6:30 last night.
She heard some shots and then she could actually hear the reload and things, so it was very close.
It's believed 32-year-old Alyssa Burnett, a talented cake maker, was shot by her ex-boyfriend before he turned the gun on himself.
Some new weapons have been unveiled in Logan in the fight to stamp out crime. 9 high-tech security cameras. The mayor says there's now no escape for criminals.
Prayers were answered this morning when a 4-year-old boy was reunited with his mum. Riley Martin, who has Down syndrome, survived a night alone in the bush after wandering away from home with 3 of his dogs.
Is he alive? Yeah, we found him!
A mother's pure relief. 4-year-old Riley had been missing for nearly 24 hours.
Barack Obama and Mitt Romney have faced off in their first debate of the US election campaign. The last place you'd expect romance, the president opened with a surprise declaration of love to his wife Michelle.
Well, coming up, a police move on a former top union official.
A permanent tribute to a true warbird.
And how music's helping the Ipswich flood recovery.
A $50,000 settlement has now been finalised between Peter Slipper's former staffer James Ashby and the Commonwealth. But the federal speaker still faces court action and is trying to have the sexual harassment case thrown out. Representing himself, Mr Slipper told the court the case is an attempt to damage him and the government politically. After a year-long investigation, police have finally moved on the strife-torn Health Services Union, arresting its former national president, Michael Williamson. He's accused of recruiting 5 people, including his son, to try and hinder the inquiry into fraud and corruption at the union. If convicted, he faces up to 7 years jail.
They were an icon of our military history and a star attraction of Brisbane's River Fire. Now, the famous F-111s, which were based at Amberley, will be preserved in museums around Australia, 3 of them in Queensland. Yeah, good scenes in Ipswich.
Good fun.
Yeah. Let's talk to Wal about sport, Wal.
Thanks, Lofty. Well, it's D-Day for James Graham. The Bulldog fronts the NRL judiciary to fight biting allegations. Our world number 1 makes an early exit in France. And we catch up with Mount Panorama's most passionate fan as the V8s hit the track.
And get set for a taste of summer for the last few days of the spring holidays. The weather's soon.
Listen to 9 News live every night at 6 on River 949.
Tonight's Sports Report brought to you by Tom Waterhouse Online Betting. With 4 generations of Waterhouse knowledge, Tom knows what punters want.
The Australian team for Saturday week's Trans-Tasman Test has gathered in Sydney, but their attention is yet to centre upon their opponents, the Kiwis. It's the lengthy suspension expected to be handed down to Bulldogs forward James Graham tonight that's dominating discussion. They've just achieved the greatest honour in the game by being named in Australia's Test team. But the players fear Graham's biting allegations may bring the game to its knees. And boy, that's set to be a tight finish to that title.
It was an upset, wasn't it? Yeah. Thanks, Wally. Checking the finance, the share market closed higher as financial stocks overrode falls in some mining shares. The All Ords added 14 points.
Our dollar's fetching $1.02 US with little movement elsewhere.
Davina's next with the weather and a little bit warmer today.
Yeah, Andrew, we could hit a top of 32 degrees on Sunday. Right now in Brisbane it's 20. Your forecast is next.
Tonight's news.
Is he alive?
Happened.
We found him!
On Today.
Oh, my baby!
Tomorrow, we check in on little Riley.
Wow! What a moment.
Tonight's weather report brought to you by Carpet Core. Call Carpet Core, the experts in the trade.
Good evening, folks. Well, after a cool start to the week, we're ending with a burst of summer. 27 degrees today for the Gold Coast. That's 2 degrees above average. Logan also reached a top of 28. Brisbane 12 to 28 degrees. Toowoomba 9 to 26, and the Sunshine Coast a top of 25. Now, warm northwesterly winds are moving ahead of a front. Now, Melbourne only dropped to 17 degrees last night. That's 8 degrees above average. Those winds will push into southeast Queensland tomorrow, really bumping up our temperatures. Behind that system, a cool change will bring some cloud and a possible brief morning shower to Adelaide, Melbourne and Hobart tomorrow. Sunny for Canberra and Sydney. Perth will be fine and a top of 23 degrees. Cairns, Mackay and Townsville could see some light morning showers. Clear skies further down the coast and it'll be warm. Tops of 27 for Gladstone and Bundaberg. Fine and clear for the southeast. 27 a top tomorrow for the Sunshine Coast, along with Caboolture, and also on the range for Toowoomba quite warm. Ipswich 9 to 33 degrees and the Gold Coast 14 to 27. For Moreton Bay, north-northwesterly winds at 15 to 20 knots. Later in the afternoon, expect northeast to northwesterly winds reaching 20 to 25 knots at times. For Brisbane, fine and sunny tomorrow, 14 warming up to 30 degrees, and the forecast just keeps getting better and better. 31 degrees on Saturday, a top of 32 on Sunday. A little bit of cloud about. The rain will arrive just in time for school.
Yeah. That trip back to school on Monday. Oh well, thanks Davina. That is our news tonight.
Thanks for being with us. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.